super excited for this video today because this is work that I've had to overcome myself. This is programming that I've worked through. This is really, I'm talking to my younger self here. So how to stop people pleasing, how to transition back into your own power, how to take your power back, be in your own fields. In this video, we're going to dive into the childhood conditioning. We're going to dive into why people become people pleasers, what people pleasing actually is, and how you can overcome this, how you can take your power back. So strap in, enjoy the ride, and let's do this thing. What is people pleasing really? Well, if you've experienced traits like this, over apologizing, constantly saying sorry for literally just existing, avoiding conflict at all costs, saying yes when you really want to say no, needing external validation, someone outside of you to validate yourself in order to feel worthy or safe, then chances are you have this people-pleasing programming operating within. And when I say programming, I'm talking about we have consciousness, our conscious mind, and then we have the deeper aspect, the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is really like the autopilot mind. It's what allows your eyes to blink without you consciously having to think, okay, time to blink, time to blink. It's what allows your heart to beat without consciously having to think, okay, time to beat, time to beat. It is that programming that is helping you stay alive, helping you operate. And when you are younger, beliefs get programmed in, ways of being gets programmed in, identity gets programmed in, okay? So this people pleasing is a very subconscious response. You might even find that in your life, you're like, why am I doing this? Like, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to sign up for this, but I felt like I needed to, like I had to. That's because you're operating on this programming. So let's dive in to childhood conditioning, the root. Diving into the origin, okay? The origin story of the people pleaser. Children are incredibly adaptive. In environments where love and safety and connection, that's inconsistent or conditional, children are going to unconsciously develop coping mechanisms to maintain attachment. When we're little kids, we're seeking that attachment, we're seeking that love because that's our survival. That's what we see as a means to survival. If we're loved, if we're taken care of, we'll naturally be fed, we'll naturally be nurtured. This is a survival mechanism. Attachment equals survival. So when a child senses emotional volatility, like a parent getting angry easily, shutting down, or an unpredictable environment, an unpredictable parent, conditional love, be good and make mommy happy, or don't upset dad or he'll leave. Neglect or emotional abuse, children, when these conditions arise, are going to learn that being agreeable, helpful, quiet, and pleasing is the safest way to connect. It's the only way to connect. It's survival. So they're going to see this, they're going to witness this through their parents, through their relationships with their caregivers or whoever it may be. And they're going to attach meaning that, okay, I have to make sure they're happy. So I have to make sure they're good so that essentially I can survive. People-pleasing strategy, it's a form of adaptive intelligence. Okay, it's a subconscious way to avoid conflict, criticism, or abandonment. And abandonment is the biggest thing that children are looking to avoid. No child wants to be abandoned because they see that as like, how am I going to survive? Okay, if I make everyone happy, I won't be punished. I won't be rejected. I won't be left behind. This is a protective adaptation, hardwired into the subconscious mind. Children who grew up in environments with parents or caregivers who have narcissistic tendencies or emotional instability and addiction can really develop this fawn response. And fawning is basically people pleasing. It's a learned survival strategy that says that safety is in this other person. I'm going to overcompensate. I'm going to take care of them. I'm going to make sure that I'm being the good girl or the good boy so that I'm safe. And children who learned that their needs were a burden, that they only received love or safety when compliant, quiet, or useful, have grown into this people-pleasing way of being. This is what programs the subconscious mind. So imagine as a child, you're seeing this every single day, like, okay, I receive love this way. And children are very smart and very capable of adapting to the environment. So, okay, I receive love this way. I receive attention this way. So and children see their parents as God. Essentially, children see their parents as, this is it. This is the way that everyone does things. So therefore, this is the way that you always do things. And that gets adapted into the psyche and the subconscious as, this is the way of being. So over time, this is going to become an ingrained behavior, and just like blinking, just like that heart beating, like we talked about, the subconscious is going to process people pleasing as your natural behavior towards other people. The brain science behind this is, so the amygdala is the part of our brain which is responsible for threat detection. The amygdala becomes hyperactive in people with trauma histories. So this in people pleasing can look like social disapproval, or conflict can feel like real danger to the brain. The brain is sending signals to the body that I'm not safe, like I might die. And while we consciously know it's not that serious, subconsciously our nervous system is seeing this as a big threat. Okay, so that's when this fawning, that's when this people-pleasing response starts to come in. And the body tries to create safety by avoiding tension or rejection. Over time, this is going to create chronic stress, overgiving, and a loss of authentic self-expression. Actually, it could create this giant cloud of confusion. Like a lot of, when I work with people pleasers, I see, and I saw this in myself, that I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was outside of other people. And that's that codependency. Okay, so I always tell people, like, to find who you are, we want to get back to the basics. Basics as in, what brings me joy? Like, what can I do right now that would bring me a little bit of joy? What are my values? Okay, what do I value in this life? What are my ethics? What is my code of conduct that I have with myself? What are my boundaries? These are these questions you can start asking yourself to get to know yourself and to find yourself. Because really, all of these create this identity, this self-concept. And that self-concept becomes the personality, and the personality becomes who you are. So if you don't know who you are outside of other people because of this chronic people-pleasing, you want to go back to those basics, back to those roots, and say, what are my values? What do I like to do? And do this over and over and over again until you genuinely find yourself. Beliefs that people pleasers hold, and beliefs are so important. They are basically the fundamental building block, okay? The foundation of your reality, your beliefs. Because we experience reality through our five senses, and our perception and our beliefs are what allow this experience to be realized through these senses. So in order to change anything about your life, you have to change what you believe to be true. Okay? So core beliefs of the people pleaser, which is this subconscious program: I'm not enough as I am. I have to earn love through what I do. If I'm not useful, I'm not lovable. I'm only seen when I'm doing something for others. My value comes from being needed. These beliefs often come from childhood when love was conditional, okay? The child is going to internalize, when I'm helpful, good, and quiet, I'm accepted. When I express my own needs, I'm ignored or I'm punished. Beliefs about conflict and rejection: if I speak my truth, I'll be rejected. Disagreement equals danger. Saying no means I'm a bad person. I'll lose people if I disappoint them. It's not safe to accept others. I must keep the peace at all costs. These are common beliefs in the fawn type trauma response. So avoiding conflict is going to be linked to survival. But baby, you're going to survive. You're going to survive just fine through conflict, through disagreements, through having your own boundaries, through being your own person. You're going to survive, and you're not only going to survive through that, you're going to fucking thrive. Okay, that's why this work is so important, because you want to get to that point where you're ready for that thrival. You want to get to that point where you're not just surviving, you're not just operating in a survival programming, but you're operating in like, holy fuck, life is abundant. Holy shit, like things get to be so good. Okay, and that's where we want to get you to. But in order to get there, you have to consciously be aware of these programmings that are coming up. Beliefs about needs and emotions, okay? My needs are a burden. Other people's needs matter more than mine. If I need support, I'm weak. Expressing how I feel makes me selfish. I'm too much, I'm not enough. So people pleasers learn to suppress their own emotional needs to prioritize a parent or caregiver's need. This leads to chronic self-abandonment later on. Beliefs about responsibility. It's my job to make sure everyone's okay. I'm responsible for how others feel. I have to fix things for people. If someone is upset, I may have done something wrong. If others are uncomfortable, it's because of me. These are classic codependency belief patterns. They stem from earlier experiences. Every programming is built upon those earlier years in life, that childhood. This is why childhood deprogramming and healing is so freaking important. It's so important, okay? This is what's gonna happen if you stay in these people-pleasing patterns, okay? It's a loop. It's gonna be a loop forever. It's gonna be self-reinforcing. So if you say yes to avoid conflict, you're gonna feel drained and resentful. If you don't speak your truth, relationships are gonna feel misaligned or unfulfilling. If you get praise for being easygoing or helpful, your brain registers that as a success, and you're gonna keep doing this. If you avoid discomfort, the nervous system is going to stay dysregulated, okay? You need to lean into discomfort in order to regulate the nervous system. And I know that sounds backwards and upside down and twisty-wisty, but I guarantee you that in this human experience, discomfort is inevitable. You cannot avoid discomfort. You cannot bury your head in the sand. You got to face it, and you got to start to learn to love to face it, because that's going to make you even more powerful. But eventually, this loop of people-pleasing, it's going to lead to burnout, chronic stress, emotional numbness, codependency in relationships, and lack of trust or purpose. And we don't want that for you, babe. We want you to succeed. We want everyone on this earth to succeed, to be fulfilled, to feel love, to receive love. We want that for every single person, okay? So how can you take your power back? Like, let's get into the fun part. And take your power back. So 1, awareness is everything, okay? Consciously, we're aware of these patterns and these things that are coming up, but subconsciously they keep repeating because that's what our subconscious is deeming as safe. So that's why consciously sometimes you're like, why the fuck did I say yes when I wanted to say no? Like, why am I burning myself out? When subconsciously it felt like the only option for you at the time. So in order to change this, in order to mesh the conscious with the subconscious, you have to start noticing these patterns, and curiosity is your best friend, okay? If you can get curious about anything in your life, any pattern that's coming up, that's going to bring so much healing, because you're like, I wonder why I did that. I wonder, instead of being like, why did I do that? Man, you're like, why did I do that? That's so interesting. Like, why the heck did I think, okay, all right, okay. Like, this is curiosity. You want to start to begin to catch the moments where you override your own truth to make someone else comfortable. And if you can, if you have a little notes app in your phone or somewhere to like jot down, anytime this people pleasing urge comes up, I just want you to make a note. I want you to pin it, and I want you to type down when that urge came up and what you did and how you reacted. And without judgment, if you reacted in a way that you consciously later didn't want to react, that's okay. Because by typing this in your notes and writing this all out every single time, it's going to get easier and easier and easier, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, I see this in the moment. You're going to be able to stop it in the moment. Okay, so make that in your notes app. Inner child healing and nervous system work. Since all of this people pleasing and every tendency we have is conditioning from our childhood, you really want to connect with that part of you. So like, I have a picture of myself from like 1st or 2nd grade. I keep it on my bookshelf, and every morning when I get up, I look at myself in the picture and I'm like, we got this, girl. Like, we got this, girl. And also, I love you so much. Like, I love you so much. Come here, girl. Like, I am your protector now, okay? You can step into your power by protecting the younger version of you. Like, it really, 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 it gives you this guardianship, this ownership over you. I am your protector now. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am your protector now. You're safe to be you now. You don't have to earn love anymore. I actually have an inner child healing hypnosis and meditation, so I'll link that below. And it's a free YouTube meditation. And also on my website, which I'll link below, I have a free inner child healing workbook that you can use to kind of work through some of these patterns. Okay, so I'll link those. You want to start to use somatic practices. So somatic basically means body-based practices. So things are stored in the body. Fear is stored in the body. It's stored in your cells. So what I like to do is I like to shake. Okay, I'm a shaker. I like to move. I like to like shake everything out. Some people can like really sit and be still and be able to move this energy. Personally, I recommend shaking. I recommend dancing. I recommend like breath work as well, because you just want to move the energy through. Also, reclaim your energy field. Okay, so there's a really good exercise. I believe it's Erin Dowdy who teaches it, but it's a candle exercise where you take a candle and you're meditating and staring at this candle. Like, being in a dark room with this candle will help you. So you're just looking at this candle and you're feeling this spaciousness, this like separateness, okay, between you and the candle. Because a lot of times what happens with people pleasers is we merge our fields with other people. Like, we see them as us and us as them in a way. And while that's not true, that's very true, everything is one, there's also this individuality. There's also this separateness that we want to feel. We really want to feel that as people pleasers, because it's going to put you back into your own frame, your own state of, like, think of all the snowflakes, how they're all different, they're all individual, they're all beautiful. Same thing with human beings, and same thing with you. And in order to feel that, you want to get into your own field. Okay? Practice saying no. Like, literally look in the mirror and be like, no thank you, no, that's not aligned with me, no, not right now, no thank you. Just practice that. And the more you practice anything, repetition is the language of the subconscious mind. So the more you practice, the more you repeat, the more that's going to be easier for you to express when the time comes. Affirmations like, it's safe to disappoint others and honor myself. I am not responsible for others' emotions. Like, I'm just not. I'm responsible for my field, my energy, my emotions, how I treat people, but I'm not responsible for like nurturing their emotional field. My truth is enough. Okay? And I really, really, really want you to practice boundaries. Boundaries are one of the greatest acts of self-love. So I want you to redefine boundaries as an act of self-love, an act of self-respect. I don't want you to see it as rejection anymore, because having boundaries is not rejecting. It's accepting. It's loving. It really is. So you can practice this boundary script. That doesn't work for me, but thanks for understanding. That doesn't work for me, but thanks for understanding. Okay? Bunch of questions that you can journal on, and I'm going to put those in the description because I don't want to just spend time like shooting questions at you guys. I'm going to put them in the description, and that way you can kind of copy and paste them if you do like an online journal or whatever. But these will journal on these, and journaling is a way to connect with our subconscious and psyche. So these questions will really help you. I'll attach them in the comments. Okay. Now I want to ask you, where in life have you been abandoning yourself to keep the peace? Where have you been abandoning yourself? How can you bring your power back? Power isn't about control. It's about being rooted in your truth, rooted in your essence, rooted in your spirit. Okay? And in order to do that, you need to find out who you are, which is, if you've been people-pleasing your whole life or codependent your whole life, you probably don't know who you are. And that's okay, because you get to choose and you get to decide, and you get to be free in that decision, and you get to be safe in that decision. And the more you choose to center into your own field, the more you take care of yourself, the more you nurture yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you're going to see that reflected outside of you. Really. So we want to bring all of this fragmentation into wholeness. Reclaiming your power is going to create coherence, and that's going to create magnetic energy. And magnetic energy is going to create a creator field for you. And the creator field is going to allow you to manifest, to create, to thrive. Okay? Again, we're moving from survival to thrival. You are safe to be you. You are safe to not give a fuck. Okay? You're safe here. You really are. You really, really, really are. If this video helped you, please subscribe, please like, please share, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll see you on the next video.